Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. It is a Tuesday, and we are back. It looks like the Fed just met. Interesting. They decided that they are going to stick to basically the no interest raise. No interest raise hike. It looks as if so, at least until 2000 and in 2024. So that sent that stabilized the NASDEQ. The NASDEQ's been pulling back as of late, and so that looks good. I guess hopefully we're back on track here. We're back on track, and moving forward. It looks as if just to get into the slides here, it looks as if the NASDAQ is up slightly. It's still above that. It's still above that key level, so that's good. It's above the 50-day moving average. So that is looking very good. We definitely the market has been pulling back as of late. I mean, it's still we're in a confirmed uptrend, but it's still pretty precarious, I think. Let's take a look at the spider. The spider is up, which is good, and it's moved. The rotation really has been out of tech into some of the S&P type stocks, some of the Dow stocks, and that's sort of, and hopefully with the interest rates freeze, that's looking probably pretty good in terms of where it's going. So I do think it's going to be a little bit more difficult to pick stocks in this kind of environment, just due to the fact that just due to the fact that there was so much investment in the tech. So I think we have to be careful about being in techs. Apple's off a little bit today, and also the ARK funds. They're sort of also kind of being a little bit skittish. I just want to show you a list of interesting stocks. These are the relative strength. These are basically high relative strength and a new high. Just kind of want to show you some of these stocks. Some of them are off, but basically we're looking, kind of interesting names here. I mean, Signet Jewelers. I mean, whoever thought? That's at 99. That's looking good. HCO, and if you've been following me at all, you'll know that I did a spread, a bull put spread on Marine Max, and that's looking very good. It's moved up very nicely today. Abercrombie and French, go figure. I mean, they're doing very well. And believe it or not, a place that I'm too much acquainted with, Jack in the Box, it's actually up too. So interestingly enough, I guess Jack in the Box is doing well. It's just a weird one because I've never invested in it, but relative strength at a new high. So very interesting. Also, here's the stocks that I'm in. I did sell some. I got out of Boeing just because it just wasn't acting right. And I may be back into Boeing. I think it's going to form a handle. I bought it off a cut base, and then, I did sell it on the pullback. I'm still in Delta. It's up today a little bit. Simply Good Foods, that seems to be doing well. Now, I did buy one for today, and that's Flora. And if you look at this, what I'm holding currently in the small portfolio, and again, I'm mostly in cash. Interestingly enough, I'm seeing the construction companies do very well. I'm in Granite, GVA, and in Floor, FLR. So it's kind of a mixed bag all the way around. All the way around. So let's get to some of the questions here. And thanks for holding on. And let's see what we got. All right. Thanks, Drunk Squidward. What's up with Peloton? Been tanking for a while. Is it because it was homesick now since everything? Okay. Well, Peloton, it's this funny thing is, we have definitely seen sort of a movement out of some of the out of some of the the opening stocks. It's kind of interesting. I mean, Peloton went way up. So let's look at Teton. I think that we may be seeing opportunity here for a short. On Peloton, yeah, okay. So basically, looking at the weekly chart, as you can see, we sort of have we have a downward trend. That's the surest thing, and also we have this relative strength line that's moving down as well. So even though the earnings are very good, and they have been excellent. Here's the thing. Let's see kind of what we want to put on here. I think that this may be an opportunity, and I know this sounds very strange, but I think this may be an opportunity for a short here. It's not there yet because, as we know, typically what'll happen is stocks will move down, and then they'll move up a little bit, and then I think that we're going to see another downward leg here. It looks like this looks like it may be potentially a good short here. It looks as if we may come back down to the 200-day line. Now, we tested the 200-day line, we pulled back up, and then we're pulling down. So I do think that we are going to see it move potentially through the 200-day line. So if you're long this stock, I think that you might want to close your position just because it's just not looking as good as it did. It still has an excellent checklist at 77, but I think that this one might be a potential short. So I'm going to put that on my short list. Let me just write that down, short list. And what I'm doing with this is I'm looking at potential stocks that I might be shorting. So if you're interested in this kind of thing, I will be putting this out on the I'll be putting these out on the Action Trade Alerts. So basically, it's real easy to subscribe, and of course, it's all free. Basically, just go to https://sendfox.com/Dallas Trading Floor to get on the list for the potential shorts. I'm putting that together. It's not ready to go yet, but I do think that Peloton might be one of the ones that is on that list. I did short for a short time. Now I closed my short, but I did make a little bit of money on it. I shorted Lululemon, which had been a very, very popular stock, but I did close that as it made moves up. All right, thoughts on Disney and RIG. Let's look at RIG first, because that was part of my I did close my position on this. I'm going to get better where I alert people. I did close this one just because it wasn't acting as well as I would have liked it to. It's up today, but it's still below that line. Basically, I need to put in my in my notes a better look at this. But basically, it looks like it's going to pull up to the 10-day line. It is rallying a little bit here. And I do think that we will see a rally, but we had to bounce off the 21-day line. I now think that it should start to move up. I decided to close it early, but I do think, we probably will see another up day on RIG based on this, because it looks like it tested here on the 21-day, and then it looks like it tested again. So hopefully we will see another bounce on that, and then as it bounces up, that's probably when you want to close it. I did close mine when it started pulling below the 10-day line, but there'll be another chance probably to close that, and maybe at a profit. I think you probably will be able to possibly do it at a profit as it moves above that 10-day line. So look for RIG to move probably, I would think, probably up to about the 450 level. If it gets above 440, 450, I think you probably want to consider closing the position. But right now it's moving up. It's all the way at the top of its it's all the way at the top of its run. So let's take a weekly chart on RIG just to kind of look at it. Yeah. Okay. So, we definitely, it's definitely ascending here. It just pulled back to the 21-day, and I think it's going to move a little bit higher. So we still have a little bit more time on that spread. So that's what I would recommend. So let's take a look at Disney. And Disney was off a little bit in the morning. It's down a little bit today. Where we kind of need Disney to go is on that spread, is to about the 200 level. We're about $6 away from that. It is up today. And I do think that we will see it move probably a little bit higher. Let's look at the weekly chart, at least towards the end of the week, because I think that the news from the Fed is very bullish for stocks like Disney, especially the stocks in the Dow. So that's what I see. It's off a little bit, but we on the week, but on the day, it's starting to make that move higher. So I do think that we're going to see it probably move back up to the 10-day line. So let me take a look and see exactly where that 10-day line is currently. And yeah, it looks like right about 194. So we're 194. So we're right at the 10-day line. I do think what's happening here is that it is moving on the 10-day line and probably up for the 10-day line. So we need to get it for the option to pay. It needs to get up to about this $200 level. And I think that is definitely possible based on this trend. We're still in an uptrend with Disney. So I do think that it's probably a good idea to keep that trade open a little bit longer. It does look like it's shrinking. I'm definitely in the trade, and I'm continuing to hold the trade as it moves higher. And as you can see, it's moving probably above about 195. So in order for that to pay, of course, it needs to be above about 200. And we have a little bit of time on that because we have about till the middle of April. So we have some time for that one to work. So thank you, Byron. Thanks for taking advantage of taking a look at that trade too. I appreciate it. All right. Well, Teladoc. Don't know. I know you're not going like Teladoc, but what's it look like long-term investment? Well, here's the thing about Teladoc as a stock. It's a great stock. I think it's the future of medicine, but I also think that there's going to be a lot of competition very, very quickly. So I kind of wanted to go over the chart with you. And basically, let's start with the weekly chart to look at the long-term trend. Unfortunately, as you can see by this chart, we have at least in the midterm, we have a downward trend on this. What happened was we had this beautiful consolidation here. This is on the weekly chart. We had this beautiful consolidation, but then all of a sudden, basically it ran out of steam. This is the reason why you really need to continuously push up your stop losses. So if it pulls past this was the buy point here. As it pulls up, then you just kind of want to move your stop losses up, and eventually, if it fails like it did, it pulled below the 21-day line. If that happens, then you're going to be out. So this has fallen significantly. I don't think it's this broken trend yet. I want to check the daily chart to see if it is broken trend to the upside. It tried. This is a potential short as well, by the way, unfortunately. This is a trend. It tried to break trend here. So I'm going to put this one on my short list. TDOC. Okay, great. Here's the thing about shorting, and I do think the market is getting weaker, even with this announcement from the Fed. I do think there's going to be some opportunity to make money shorting stocks coming here in the near future, and this is definitely the kind of stock that we definitely want to see to short. Here's the thing: you should never buy a stock if it's below the 200-day line. This is definitely below the 200-day line. Now, this is sort of the mirror image. As the stock is going up, then we want to be long. Typically, if we're below the 200-day, we want to look at it but for a potential short. Here's how it works. Stocks, when they're going up, they'll go up, pull back, and then go up. When they're coming down, they'll go down, pull up, and then go down. So this has definitely formed a pattern that looks like this one definitely is going lower. You can see it's just hanging on. It's going lower and then pulling up to that 10-day line and then falling below it. So this one is definitely headed south, I am afraid. So this one is a potential short here, and I want to put that out there for everyone. This one is a potential for short. TDOC. So basically what's happening here is I do think, oops, there we go. I do think this is a potential short based on this chart. It's just pulled back too far, and then it couldn't get support at the 200-day. Well, what happened was it pulled down. It went through the 21-day, the 40-day, the 50-day, the 200-day, and then it tried to get support at the 10-day. That's the 10-day. It didn't get it, and then it's moved. So this is likely going lower. So this is a potential short. There's a potential short on this. It's down $8.69 today. So here's what I would do. I would wait for this one to rally up, which I do think it will, and then I would probably be a short on it. Back in the old days, you couldn't short a stock without what they call the uptick rule. You had to short it as it was moving up. So you could only short it as it's moving up. And that's still the best way probably to do a short is to do it that way, because that gives you time to set everything correctly. So basically what I would say on that, let me get the camera on me better. There we go. Sorry about that. Gonna move over to maybe a little bit of, okay. There, I think that's a little better. All right, so hopefully I'll get my cursor back here in a second. I'm having a little bit of issues with bandwidth as usual. It seems like we never have enough of that bandwidth, and we should be getting the cursor here in just a second. So let me wait on that. Thank you very much, and hopefully we will get a cursor. Isn't that interesting? So we're hold on one second. I'm going to leave the studio and then come back in and see if that makes some of the. There we go. There we go. Okay, I think we're back now. So thank you for waiting. Thank you for holding on there for just a second for me. Appreciate it very much. Sometimes, I don't know, I seem to have issues with the bandwidth sometimes. Thank you. Thoughts on Apple? Let's take a look at Apple here. AAPL, of course, is of course the symbol. So it's been pulling back a little bit today. I have this spread on Apple that I put up here. It does look like it's trying to rally to above the it's looking like it's trying to rally above the 21-day line. We're off about $1.10 today, but on the weekly chart, if we look at the weekly chart, we're up. And that's the key here, is looking at, this is why you want to always look at that weekly chart, because for the week we're up, for the day we're not. So this looks like it has broken trend to the upside. Let's take a look to see. All right. I still believe that this is still trying to make a reversal attempt here. The relative strength is relatively low at 52. So here's the thing. I do believe it looks as if, based on this chart, at least in the short term, we probably, we might see another down day tomorrow, but I do think it still looks like it's trying to break trend. If it can stay above the 21-day line, and the 21-day line is basically at 124. So we're basically right at the 21-day line. If it could stay above that 21-day line, and as you can see, it moved below the 21-day line from the beginning of the year, and it stayed below it, and it's now making an attempt to move above the 21-day line. If it can move above the 21-day line, and that's about 24.25, then I think we have a reversal on it. I do think that this is going to be a weak reversal, but I do think we have a reversal here. Now, will it move up to the prior the buy point at 137, or even the most recent buy point at 145? I think the jury is still out on that one. But as long as Apple can stay above that 21-day line, I think that we're still good with Apple. I wouldn't be shorting Apple or anything like that. It looks like it has a good reversal. Now, the other ones like Teladoc and Peloton, I think we have to look at those carefully, because they may present opportunities for a short, and that can be profitable as the stock market readjusts. So that's just a kind of an interesting way of looking at it. Let's look at LMND. Thanks, Pritesh. LMND. LMND. All right, and that's Lemonade. And of course, Lemonade is the insurance company. Here's the thing about Lemonade, and why I'm not in the name, and I don't like the action on this, because I do believe that this is in a downtrend. As you can see, this is the weekly chart here. I think this is the one you really have to look at. So we are definitely in a downtrend on that. It did make a reversal attempt. Yeah, it was in a downtrend. It made a reversal attempt. It moved. It didn't make it to the 21-day line, and then it collapsed. So here's the thing with Lemonade. I think you've got to be super careful on it. I would just I would sell Lemonade, LEMONADE. So I think that LMND. I think you just got to be, I just think you have to be a seller at this point. I mean, you could definitely buy it back, but I think you've got to be a seller on it right now. And I got it in there wrong, but LMND. I kind of fat fingered it. LM. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. There we go. So there. So I think you have to be a seller of it based on the chart. Lemonade does not look like, it looks like it is in it moved up very, very nicely. There was this cup here. There was a cup here. Let's see if I can get a draw tool up here. Let's see if it'll let me have a draw tool. Or maybe, no, let me see if I can. I think this will let me have a draw tool. Nope. All right. One of these days I'm going to get a free, I'm going to learn how to do the freeform draw tool. But there was a consolidation here. And then we had it moved below the 21-day line. Now, why am I so fixated on this green 21-day line? It seems as if, at least in this market, if the stock can maintain a position above this 21-day line on the daily and the weekly chart, then it's more likely to move higher. If it's below this and it makes an attempt at it and then it collapses, that's when I'm a seller. So I'm a seller right now of Lemonade. That's the thing. I'm probably a seller of it. It just doesn't look as if it has the strength right now. So I have to, be a little bit cautious on Lemonade. Thanks, Matt. Let's look at WLFC. WLFC. Here I am. I'm saying, sell, sell, sell. It's unbelievable. Interesting. Interesting action here. Something must have happened. Oh, okay. Well, we have a huge spike in volume. That's very interesting. I wonder what is causing that. Well, it says earnings. They must have had just blowout earnings. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Wow, look at this. Okay, well, it moved above a consolidation buy point at 40.91. Unfortunately, it's extended. Oh, goodness, this would have been a very, very good buy. But right now, this is probably going to pull back. I don't know why it is acting like this, but very interesting. The relative strength is not very good. It's only 61. So there must have been some kind of news on this stock. Yeah, because the checklist is terrible. Let's see if there's any news on this. Air lease gains. Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, then that was back in 2014. So there hasn't been any news on this. I can't understand this. It's got strong cash flow. It is a financial, not my particular favorite sector. Let's look at the industry. Well, 38, not bad. Commercial leasing. So this is aircraft leasing. I guess this is within sympathy with the Boeing order. So Willis Lease. So I guess this is I guess this is the, oh yeah, okay, there we go. Okay. Leases commercial aircraft engines. Ah, I understand now. I didn't understand. A lot of short interest. Boy, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's looking good, but it's extended. So, here's the here's my take on that. Currently, the stock is extended above okay, hopefully I get my cursor back here. Stock is extended above the 4015 buy point watch list. So what's going to happen probably here, at least in the short term, you can't tell exactly, obviously, because if I did, I'd be a super duper billionaire. But basically what's going to happen here is we've pushed above this buy point at, I said 4015, but it's really, it's 4078. So it's a little bit, I'm a little bit off on this, but it's pushed above this buy point. It's beyond the, it's beyond the buy range. It is extended. So what the best thing to do is watch this stock. If you want to buy the stock, I would be a little bit concerned about buying the stock. This is good action. I do like seeing this action. And there definitely is, a lot of volume here. But I'd be a little bit careful because I do think this is going to pull back before it's pulling higher. It's definitely moving up. There's no question about it. After hours are basically the same price. So it was up $8.43. So there must have been some kind of news that it traded on, and it probably was earnings. So they probably had super earnings. The relative strength line is up, but it is extended. I'd be very careful about buying this one right now because it's likely to pull back significantly from this movement. But it's definitely worth watch listing because it definitely could be very good stock. But right now it's a watch list. That's WLFC. All right. So, hi Jim. What do you like? Well, right now there is a stock that I did move into this morning. It's called Fluor, FLR, and it's the largest engineering company in the world. And now I bought it this morning, so it's extended. Unfortunately, right now it's a little bit extended. Where I bought it was right as it moved above the 2150 line. Here, I had a buy stop limit order on it for there. It's pulled significantly above its pivot, and it looks like it's in a tight pattern. Going back to the weekly chart here, we definitely have a nice ascension off the base. Now, here's what I want to look at. This is an old company. This company has essentially, this is back to 2002. As you can see, traditionally this company is a lot more valuable, typically from about $60 to $80. Now, will it come back to that level? Well, it's looking like it might be reversing this long downtrend. This stock has been in a downtrend essentially since about 2013, a company called Fluor, but it is the largest engineering company in the world. And I do believe that the Biden administration is going to be able to pass some infrastructure spend, and this company will benefit from it. It's a relatively inexpensive stock. I bought it this morning. It's up about $6 on the week, on the month. I mean, it's up about $6.32 on the month. It's up about 13 cents for 25 cents on the weekend. I think it's probably up. Yeah, it's up about $1 on the day. So it's just moved past this area. Right now, it is extended, unfortunately. So I wouldn't recommend buying it. But let's see if this thing pulls back. I'm going to set an alert, basically, on this stock to basically buy it at about 22.57. That's where I'm going to to buy it, because that's the top of the buy range. So you right now at 23, unless you're on board the train, and this appeared on the this appeared on the small portfolio this morning, but I've got to get a messaging system, so when I do these things it becomes more apparent. But let me show you what I'm currently holding in the small portfolio, so that you can get an idea of kind of where I'm at in terms of what I've been buying. And this is the small portfolio, and it's available to anyone if they if they have if they're on the we make it available if you sign up on the website. So basically, I came into Floor. Let me move over here. Oh, I'm still a little bit constrained on the bandwidth here, so apologize. Sometimes I have to wait a little bit for my there we go, for my bandwidth to come back, enable me to do that. So let me share out that tab to show you kind of what's going on in terms of the small portfolio. There we go. There we go. And there we go. We should be able to see that now. So here's basically what's going on here. I'm up about 4% on this one, but this is the only one I bought today. It's Floor, and again, I sized it at about 44 shares. The reason I do this is a very small portfolio that I use, but this is what I use here. Is I use a position sizing, right? You have 8 full positions. So currently I have 1, 2, 3, 4 positions, and the rest is in cash. So I haven't had the ability to find anything that has really allowed me to to go in any more than that. I've been selling off. I'm out of Ford, and I was out of Boeing as well. So that's kind of been my been what's been going on in terms of that. So let's see if I can give you another question. That's right now. I like Floor, but it's extended, and unfortunately, when it's extended, you don't want to buy it extended, and that's hard. This market's slowing down a little bit, so it's not as easy as it was just a month or two ago. It's a little bit harder to buy right now. So let's look at the RVP. This is a company here in Little Elm, which is actually a suburb of Dallas, and it looks like it might have done a reversal. One of the things I like about this stock, as opposed to some of the other ones that I'm showing, for instance, Teladoc, it pulled below the 200-day line. This one didn't even get down to the 200-day line, and it's moving up. So is this confirmed a reversal? Well, let's look at the weekly chart to see if we can see if we have a reversal on this. I do think we might have one based on, there we go, let's see the temporary line. I do think we might see a reversal there, but let's go to the daily chart. It's easier to see a reversal on the daily chart than on the weekly chart. So I'm going to draw a trend line here, and it looks as if now here's where I can tell if we have a reversal. If we're in a downtrend like this, it bounces like this. You see it almost went to the 200-day line, and then it's come above, and this is the key here. It's come above this very key line here, and that is the 21-day exponential. And it looks, if it closes above this line, and it looks like it might, it's up $1.11 today. It looks like it might continue up. If this does hold in the current trend, we might see it move, as high as maybe $17. So I do think that there's some good upside potential here, at least in the short term, for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate this line, and if it moves above this line, and I've put this line in here, then if it moves below that, of course, it'll alert me. But if it looks like it's trading above that line, so right now it's looking decent. Now, would I buy at this level? No, but I would wait until possibly we see a complete reversal. More of a reversal. I would wait to buy this one as it moved above about 15. This is where I would be interested in buying it. So here's what I would do. And I like RVP. I especially like RVP in this market because it's got a 89 relative strength, and it has a good checklist, 77, and it has 125 funds in it. So there is with COVID and everything like that, there is a lot. This is actually a good area to be in the market right now. It's not tech, so I like that, at least for right now. So here's what I would do on retractable technology. I do think you can buy it above the, I do think it is viable above the 40-day line. So here's what I would do on this one if I wanted to get into possibly. I'm not in retractable, but if I wanted to get into retractable, what I would do is I'd set a buy stop limit order for $15 plus 10 cents or 15.10. So that's where I would set a buy stop limit order. So if I were going to buy this one, I'm not, I'm on the fence on this one, but I'm going to put it on my buy list. RVP buy stop limit at 15.10. So that's kind of where I would be looking possibly to get into it. I think this is a strong stock, at least in this environment. And it's a very inexpensive stock. I mean, $14. Now, normally I don't like to buy stocks this cheap, but this one is looking fairly good. It's looking like it's setting up very nicely. And I think with that setup, maybe, it might be a good option, if you wanted to sort of, get your feet wet right now. I'm more heavily in cash right now, but this one definitely is looking good. I really think if you're not, this is right now, RVP is at 14.11. I think that's very good. It's up 8.5% today. It was excellent. And most importantly, it's above the 21. It's above that 21-day line. So this is showing some strength. But here's what I would do. If I wasn't in this one again, I would be I would be a little bit cautious because the market is but not quite as powerful as it once was. I would be in this at about 15.10 as it moved higher. But if you're in it right now, I think you have a winner, and I do think it's it's possibly going up from here. It looks, at least in the short term, that's kind of what the chart is telling me, that might be the situation with RVP. Next question. Thank you for holding. I've been yammering. Let's take a look at questions from TikTok. I've been ignoring all of our friends over at TikTok. Oh, okay, very good question. Thanks a whole lot. This is from APAIGHAM. Hey Jim, what do you think about BAC, Bank of America Corporation? Well, actually, I'm a little bit on the fence because I do see the money center banks doing a little bit better, but the problem with Bank of America Corp, BAC, is it's really been a laggard. But here's the thing, it just had this breakaway gap and a first stage cup with handle at 34.37. So it is extended right now. Here I am saying that right now Bank of America Corp is extended. So right now you couldn't buy it. This is really buyable only up to about, let me give you an exact number on that. Oops, let me see if I can. There we go. So it really isn't buyable above the 21-day exponential at 36. Right now it's at 37.99. I do think that we may see this one pull up for the next day, but I do think it's going to pull back to the 10-day line. So you could, if you're very, very aggressive, and I mean very aggressive, you possibly could buy it at about 37.17. It's at 37.99. But right now, I just think it's extended. You really don't want to buy it. And what I mean by extended is that stock will move up over an area of resistance, and then it typically will pull back to this area of resistance. So right now that area of resistance is at 34.37 for BAC, Bank of America Corp. So I do think it's going to pull back a little bit, but eventually, but as it moves up, it pulls back a little bit, and then it moves a little bit higher, pulls back a little bit. So that's kind of how the action works. We don't have a great checklist on Bank of America Corp. The checklist is only 55, and but the fund ownership is strong at 3363 funds in it. Fidelity is actually in this one, so I do like that. Fidelity is a very good picker of stocks. The industry rank has improved tremendously. It's now 80 out of 197, so that's definitely getting a lot better. I mean, literally, for the last when the techs were moving up, the growth stocks were moving up. Literally, this sector was down in the dumps. It was like, I think, about 140 or 130, so it just wasn't doing well. So I'm definitely seeing some strength here on Bank of America. Would I buy it now? No, I would watch list this one because it is extended, and that's just the long and the short of it. You can't, in this market right now, you just have to be much more careful about buying in this. I mean, we are in a confirmed uptrend, but I do think that right now it's just it's a very tough time because it's not moving nearly as fast as it was. I mean, I just don't think it's so right now. This is a watch list. So BAC is a watch list. Okay. I wouldn't be buying it at this level. That's just me. But based on the technicals, I don't think you can buy Bank of America Corp at this level. I think you got to wait for it to pull back a little bit to about the 34, 37 level. And then if it reverses above that, then I think we might have something. But right now, I think you got to be careful with this Fed not raising the rates. I think that's going to be, if the Fed was going to raise the rates, then I think that would be more bullish for the banking sector. And the banking sector is doing better than it's done, but I still think it's fairly weak. All right, so let's look at thoughts on ADAP. Let's look at ADAP. Take a look. And interesting. UK bet. Okay. This is this is a biotech. There are, thanks, June. I appreciate bringing this up. Biotechs are hard to buy. I mean, I'll be honest with you. You got to kind of know the science. I wish I was really more up on it. This is a $5 stock, and it's up 7 cents a day, but it's below the 200-day moving average. So here's my take on it right now. I think that you got to be real careful. So it's below a 200-day moving average, not a buy. And I just think that's really, something you got to be kind of strict on. Up 2,000. No, it's 200. Excuse me. It's not 2,000-day line. It's the 200-day moving average. So here's the thing I think on this one, ADAP, Adaptimmune Therapeutics. It's a UK stock, and it trades with an ADA with an American Depository Receipt. But I don't think you can buy this one. It's below the 200-day moving average. It only has a relative strength of 30, so I just think you need to avoid this one. It's in a good area. It's in a good sector, but it's not showing a lot of strength, and so I just think you got to be careful on that one. I wouldn't go into it right now. All right. Question on Apple spread that you shared. At what point does the trade not work out, and why? Well, actually, if you look carefully, if you look at the, I won't go into it for everyone, but I did share a link. Take a look at the heat map, and that will tell you kind of how it's trending. Each one of those prices that's on that heat map tell you what the value of that trade is. So if it's trending downward, and I do think it's going to trend up at least for a little bit of time, and this trade actually makes money above the Apple trade makes money above 125. So let's look at the Apple again. Unfortunately, I don't have that particular map up. Well, maybe I can find it. So let me see if I can give you that information as we speak. So I'm gonna look to see if I have that one up. So let me see if I can pull that one up. Apple. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to look at the heat map on this one. Yeah, there we go. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. So let's take a look at that your question on this trade. Let me see. So let me show you kind of what this, how this trade works, and kind of where you'd possibly wanting to either exit it or continue on it. So I'm going to go to the slide, and basically here's kind of what we're looking at currently. As you can see where the green area is here, these green numbers, this is going to be where the trade is working. Currently, the price for Apple, let's see if we can get the exact price for Apple right at this moment, is so currently the Apple price currently is 124.64. This is the after hours. It's down a little bit after hours, but it's at 124. So the way this trade works is you have a you have a heat map, and the heat map will tell you how the trade is progressing. And here's the heat map. Today's the 17th, so it's at 124. So we're almost at 125. So basically, we're almost at break even here. As you can see, this line here. As we move further into May, if we see an increase in this, we'll start to see these numbers. Currently, the value of that trade is about a positive. It's about $20 right now for that trade, based on where we're at. If the prices on Apple move up, as you can see, like say to 130, let's see by the 10th of April, then the trade will be worth $268, and then so forth. By the way, if we can be above basically this 130 range by the end of, and that's $5. That's basically a $5 move on this by the end of May. That trade will appreciate to being worth about $1,148. So that's basically what you do. Is each day you need to see what the closing prices is, track it with this table here, and that will tell you how the trade is progressing. And then you want to look back at the chart to see if we're in an uptrend or a downtrend. But that's how you use that's how you use the trade on this that I supplied there. So it's not that hard to do. Once you're in the trade, it will give you basically the it'll basically show you how that the trade is progressing. Right now Apple was in a downtrend. Oops, yeah, there we go. Apple was in a downtrend, and it looks like the trade basically is that it looks like it pulled above that 21-day line, and it looks like it's right at the 21-day. Let's see exactly. So the 21-day is right at 124.15. It's a 124. So it's just crossed over that 21-day line, and it looks like it's getting support there. So I expect tomorrow it will trade right about that level, and then as that line trends up towards the middle of April, that's when that spread starts to make money. So that's kind of a long and involved explanation. But by the way, if you're interested in getting those kind of trades, it's super easy to do. All you have to do is is basically sign up for subscribe. I think that's a nicer word. We don't sell any for information. Basically, go to https://sendfox.com/Dallas Trading Floor, and they'll put you on the list. And and right now we're providing these all of these trades for free. So it's a win-win situation, and hopefully I will be able to get a better alerting system showing you how I'm getting in and out of the trades. I'm not quite there yet, still working on some of the technical details, but right now I'm still in the Apple trade, and it's looking good. All right, let's look at Grow Generation earnings. Unfortunately, I think Grow, is that the symbol? I can't remember the symbol for Grow Generation. GROW, I think is that it? No, that's US Global Investors. I'm sorry. Let me come back to that question. I don't know the symbol of that one offhand, unfortunately, for Grow Generation. Jim, oh, okay. Thoughts on Oxy? Interestingly enough, Occidental Petroleum, right before the downturn, made some huge buys of land property in the Permian Basin. Of course, that's in West Texas for everyone that is not totally familiar with it. And it was, they bought a company called Anadarko, and they merged with Anadarko, and then of course the oil price collapsed, but the oil prices are moving up. They're about $70. So actually it's Oxy is looking fairly good. It's got a nice relative strength. I mean, a few months ago, man, it was just this was sort of like a few months ago the trend was not your friend when it came to Oxy. I mean, it basically bottomed right about right in terms of right at the election time, and then interestingly enough, it bottomed right there. But ever since the election, it's been moving steadily higher, and the reason is, of course, is the price of crude oil, because right before the election, about 3 weeks before the election, we actually saw a negative price, and that's unbelievable for oil, mainly because they didn't have a place to store all the oil that they had, but it's been moving up ever since. So I do like Oxy. Unfortunately, I don't really see a good entry point here. I'm looking at the chart, and I want to see a base, but I don't see one. Unfortunately, I don't see a base. So let's look at the monthly chart. As you can see, it's been the normal trading range for Occidental Petroleum should be north of $60. That's what it was trading for up until, basically the beginning of 2019, and then it just took this dive down for 2020. It was just with this COVID thing. I mean, the COVID downturn happened, and then it never really recovered. It just kind of double bottomed. But now. And the interesting thing is we do have what they call a double bottom shape. And interestingly enough, you can look at not only you can look not only short-term trends, but you can look at long-term trends to say. So basically, based on this stock, it looks as if it broke the neckline right about here, and that would be right about 25 about. So it's right now it's 29. So let's go to the daily chart to see kind of where that would be. Well, it's interesting because you see that we had a short-term high at 2460 right there. So it's been moving up ever since, and it's above the 30-day line, the 21-day line. So this is looking good. I do think that this might be, it's not quite yet, but this might be a reversal. This might be a bounce off of the 21-day line. So this is potentially not a bad, I mean, you can buy it off the 21-day line. It's a little bit aggressive. I like to buy it in this kind of market more about the 40-day or possibly the 200-day, but it looks like we've made potentially a bounce. We tested there, and since in this uptrend. So basically, what can I say about this? You know what? I think that this might be buyable off of the 21-day exponential. So I don't normally like to buy off of the 21-day, but I do think this is a watch list. It's possible reversal off of the 21-day line, at, and I'm looking at the 21-day line basically being right about here at 27.92. 27.92. So, the question is, what can we do here? Well, it looks as if we've got a nice reversal off there. Now, here's the thing. We had 3 down days in a row. Typically, interestingly enough, and I've been doing this for a while, we typically, in a normal pattern, we have 3 down days and then we have an up day. That's a normal pattern. If we have 4, then something's not right. So it looks like we've made a reversal here, at least in the very, very short term. I mean, this is a very short-term trend. I mean, basically to Monday, but it looks like between here and Monday, we're likely to see this move up, probably to about the 10-day line, which is about 29.50. So I do think this is probably going to move up a little bit. I do like this one. Would I buy it at this level? Well, I'd be a little bit cautious, but it is looking good actually. This is actually good chart action for Oxy, OXY. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for that suggestion there. Let's take a look to see if we have anybody from TikTok. I've been amiss. Okay. Any thoughts on CPNG IPO? Down pretty heavy since IPO. This is one of the reasons why it's really, really hard to buy any IPOs. I have bought a few in this last thing. I did buy a few of them, but right now I think you got to really wait about 3 months for it to form a base. It's just too difficult to see how they're going to trade. I mean, for a while there, everything was moving very, very nicely with these IPOs, but okay, there we go. So let's look at this one. CPNG. Let's see if I get I'm still having some bandwidth issues here. Apologize for that. Yeah, CPNG. Let me see if I can. Well, I have some bandwidth constraints here. I've just been, there we go. All right, we're back. CPNG. I can't give you anything on that right now. I'm having issues. There we go. So I'm gonna see if I can pull up my screen again. So that would be a good idea because there we go. There we go. Okay. CPNG. Thanks for holding on for that. Yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, this unfortunately is not the kind of chart we want to see. This is the daily chart. Let's there's not going to be much of a weekly chart, yeah, as you can see, but you can see it very clearly here. It's basically been in the market for about 2 weeks. It looks like it's pulling lower. The IPO is at 35. Here's the thing. I think that you just probably have to wait on this one a little bit. And I think if you're down more than 7%, and you probably are, I would be a seller of this. Yeah, it might come back, but then again, it might not. And so it does not looking really good. All right, let's look at Grow Generation. I didn't remember this symbol from before. So let's look at Grow Generation. This is one of the bigger pot stocks. I'd be careful in this sector because I was about 3 years ago I was playing the sector pretty nicely, and it was very good. There wasn't any oversupply. Right now there's a lot of oversupply in this sector. So there is an ETF. I think it's easier to play this sector if you have a grab bag of these. And the ETF I'd like to take a look at really quickly is an ETF called MJ. That's the symbol on it. It's called Alternative Harvest. I think that's the name of it. Hopefully that'll come up here in just a second. And you can take a look at my bald spot in the meantime. All right. This is an ETF called MJ, and the advantage of playing the ETF as opposed to individual stocks is that this is going to give you a broad exposure, and where you don't have to necessarily pick any winners or losers. Right now, this thing is it looks like it's bounced off of the 50-day line. This is actually behaving a lot better now. Basically, I haven't been in it since about this period, since 2018. It's about a little over 3 years ago is when I was playing this one. But and I basically pulled out of it when it started this descent. And I just I sold, because typically anytime a stock that declines more than about 7%, I'm out, and that's the case here. But it does look like it has turned the corner, and it is moving hard. So this might be an alternative to Grow Generation. Its symbol is MJ. So, but let's look at Grow Generation itself, GRWG. Thank you very much for supplying the symbol, because it's a lot easier for me when I know what that is. Have we had a reversal on this one? Well, let's look on the daily chart, see if this is reversed. Yeah, it does. It looks like it's reversed. The high, of course, 67.75 on Grow Generation, but it looks like we have moved above the it looks like we've moved above the 50-day line. So I'm liking that action. That's good action. So it's got a relative strength of 99. That's powerful. It's above the 200 line. I think you could buy this actually, and I definitely wouldn't sell this one because it does look like it's good. So I do think that we are in an upward trend on this one, at least probably until about 60. So I think we might have about at least 10% more to go on the upside. Now, here's the thing, and here's what I would do on this stock. We are coming into earnings. Earnings are in 7 days. So here's what I would do. If I was in this stock, I would hold it for 7 days, but I would sell it before earnings, because I think this could be very affected by earnings. So it's in a nice upward trend. This might make a nice, weak trade here. It's going to be announcing basically next week on Tuesday. So it's probably after the bell. So I would be looking to hold this one probably through Monday, selling it on Monday night. That's what I would be doing on Grow Generation. But it looks very nice. It looks like it's moving up very, very nicely. Well, I haven't gotten to everybody's question. This is bad. So let's see if I can. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I was. Jim, I'm down 40% on Lulu put. Do I wait or cut losses? Cut your losses. Absolutely cut your losses. Sometimes you just, this is one of the reasons why I do spreads as opposed to just nakeds, because of this very fact. Yeah, I feel bad, but cut your losses, get out, get out and then just come back another day. It's just one of those things. You just got to kind of do that sometimes. And it's not fun, but with this comes some risk. So I would definitely close my trade. All right. Well, we have come to the end of another hour, and I thank you very much. If you want to get on the free action trade alerts, it's super easy to do. Just go to https://sendfox.com/Dell's trading floor. And yeah, and so until tomorrow, I hope everyone is well. Until tomorrow, hopefully I'm going to have I'm working on some potential bear call spreads for earnings on Nike. I do think Nike's earnings are going to peak and then they're going to pull back. I'm going to work on some of those. I don't no promises, but I'm probably going to work on some more option plays there. At least until tomorrow, happy trading. I hope everyone is doing good. I certainly am. And I will see you tomorrow at 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern. And everybody on TikTok, thanks so much